right, welcome back to Behind the Bowl. My name is Brian McDonald, Director of E-commerce at Oma's Pride, and I am joined by Dr. Allan Coopersmith. Dr. Allan, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it, and we have some really interesting topics to cover. One of them, and the most important one, being our dog's dental health, something that often gets overlooked because of a few things that we were discussing earlier before we hopped on with everyone. So I'm going to give the floor to you, and I think it's be really interesting to hear your background and sort of like weave everyone through how you got to where you are today.
Sure thing. It's really a pleasure to be here. And I'm talking about my favorite subject, and that's prevention of dental disease. As we all know, it's so expensive to bring our dogs to the vet. You have to put them down for a cleaning, and dental disease is the most prevalent, but the most preventable disease, not only for humans, but also for pets. Because the same thing that causes dental disease in humans also causes the same thing in pets, and the solution is basically the same. So how does a dentist end up in the pet business?
Exactly.
It's a good place to start. I've been teaching and practicing dentistry for over 45 years. Uh, my hygienist wife and I got a dog 8 years ago who we love and adore, as do all pet parents. They become part of the family. And of course, we want to do the single best thing that we can ever do for our pet, and that is to brush their teeth. Not only will that reduce the dental problems and their oral problems, but there's something called a systemic oral link, that what happens in the mouth not only affects what happens, to the tongue and the teeth and the gums, but that infection and that bacteria then goes through the gums, just as it does with humans, goes into the circulation, circulates throughout the entire body, and affects the heart, the liver, the lungs, the kidneys, and even the brain. So this, like I said, the single best thing that we can do is brush our dog's teeth.
Yeah.
Problem is dogs hate to have their teeth brushed. So when my wife and I tried to struggle with our dog to brush his teeth, there was just no way. It had to be at night when he was sleepy, or he'd only let us do one tooth at a time. It was a terrible experience. And we figured if it was so difficult for a dentist and a hygienist to brush their own dog's teeth, I hate to think how difficult it would be for everybody else.
Yeah.
So that was our aha moment where we figured there had to be a better way. So we used our technology and our know-how that we had developing products for humans to clean between their teeth, because humans, their problem is that gum disease starts between their teeth, unlike with the dog, because the anatomy of the dog's tooth is completely different. So we developed a product called the Perio Twist for humans, and it was very successful. It's still being sold. It's award-winning, and we're just coming out with a new iteration. But we took that technology and that know-how, and then we applied it to create a whole line of actually floss and toothbrush toys called CHEWMATE. The line is CHEWMATE. And so that the dog actually flosses and brushes his own teeth as he chews these toys. And it's really cool because we even actually put a dental insert inside the middle of it that increases the engagement and fun. And we made this whole line of products, both for dogs and soon to be released for cats, by the
Awesome.
way, that will take care of the oral care of the dog by scraping away the tartar and the plaque that creates the dental disease in the first place. So he ends up brushing his own teeth. We no longer have to struggle with them. So it's we just actually launched at Global Pet Expo a few weeks ago in Orlando. and we were awarded the Best in Show by Blog Pause, which is very well known and
Yes.
a terrific blog for pets. So we were very proud to do that. And the great thing is that we during COVID, my wife and I took off the long time, and we dedicated 3 years to research and development, so that it's not just like another chew toy, but it actually the little slots, the little openings that we have in it, and they're patented, by the way, and there's patents pending, etc. They're designed specifically so that when the shape of a dog's tooth, which is completely different, to our own, pierces through that floss slot, it gets cleaned all the way to the gum line like a squeegee, 360 degrees around the tooth. And we have different shapes. We actually are coming out with a football shape.
Oh, awesome.
I hope it's going to be in time for the football season. But here, I'll give you a little preview.
Yeah, there it
Over
is.
here, treat goes inside here. These are our floss slots. So this is coming out soon. So we're
That's
very excited
fantastic.
about that too.
That's great. Yeah, I saw. So when I saw it, I'm like, wow, this is really really neat because when you look at it, it's like there's a thousand slots for the dog's teeth to go in, right? So it's almost impossible for the dog not to get the benefits of it, right? Because it doesn't have to go in a specific area, right? That you just let the dog, chew and play, and then next thing you know, it's like, wow, that just saved me a half hour of hassle tonight because I don't have to hold him down and brush his or her teeth. So no, that's
Exactly.
really really neat.
And it
Really really
also
neat.
has, if it doesn't hit the floss slot over here, then it hits these rubber nubs. There's hundreds of these little rubber nubs, which actually um, kind of move and massage and clean the dog's gums as well. So there was a lot of technology, a lot of science, and a lot of design that went into the planning of it. So it's really not like any other chew toy. It actually is a multifunctional kind of a toy that's like a flosser, a toothbrush. It has a treat, and it's a chew toy all in one.
That's fantastic. And where can people find you right now? Are you D2C? Are you in retail? Where are your channels for folks to find you guys?
We're in on Amazon.
Okay.
Uh, there's our website, getchewmate.com. We're on a number of marketplaces, wholesale pet. So we're doing B2B and we're doing B2C.
Okay.
And already in a few selected, as we say, progressively thinking pet stores. We
Yes.
love the independent pet stores because there's more than just a product that we want to communicate to the people. We want to educate people as to why it's so important,
Mm,
to attend to the dog's oral care. And 80% of dogs over the age of 2 already have gum disease and dental disease because nobody brushes their teeth.
yeah.
So now they get to do it themselves. We get to spread the word because it's like I said, it's such a devastating, cruel disease that causes pain and misery and expense for both the pet and the pet parent.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
It's
true.
95% preventable with good oral hygiene. So, not only, can people use our ChewMate chew toys and toothbrush toys, but there are other things that they can do as well. There's enzymatic drops that they can put into their water. There's all sorts of dental treats that they can give them without over treating them, because pet obesity is also getting to be an issue.
Mhm.
But as many things as they can do to increase and improve the dog's oral hygiene, it will improve their life and their quality of life, and certainly their total body health.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's great. I mean, this is another reason why we love the Independent Pet channel too, because with a product like this, and just like us, right? I'll backtrack just because we sort of, hey, what does this bald guy do? We are a fourth generation family owned and operated raw pet food company, and we started in the 1950s on our family farm, selling eggs door to door. Right, the great grandmother Oma, which is our company's named after. Um, was selling eggs door to door. Guy on her street was moving, getting rid of some turkeys. She took the turkeys on, put them in her farm. Next thing you know, she has thousands of turkeys, and she became a local New England based food distribution channel. Right, so she sold to local grocery stores. And in the 90s, her daughter, second generation owner, had a very sick dog. Looked out the window, which is why we have a wolf behind us. Saw a wolf eating animal carcasses and said something's to be said about this. So she went to like local shows, her family recipes. After she found out, hey, I'm giving the dog turkey necks, chicken necks, turkey family grind recipes, and that's sort of how Almost Pride started. So we were all local, and then about 10 years ago, got in the D2C space. And then just about 2 years ago or so, maybe even less, started to get into independent pet stores. So we have a distribution channel that we go through. We have our own sales team, and that is the reason why I bring it up is because it's the number one thing for the education aspect of it. It's very hard to educate online, right? Very hard. You really need those frontline workers, I call them, right? Where you're independent pet store owners, et cetera, where they're advocating your product, they're showing the consumer why it's beneficial, why it works, and it's just an easier sell point to the consumer, but it's an easier way to really like mass spread the education component of it, right? So when we got into those pet stores, that's when people started to learn more about our product, why it's so good, where it comes from, and all this sort of stuff. And that's an interesting viewpoint from that because we have our other channels and stuff like that, but in regards to the educational component, which is what your product is as well, right? You have to educate the consumer of why it's beneficial, why they should buy it. And that's a channel that we really love and that we spend a lot of time, energy, and effort behind.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And it's interesting because I'm a fourth generation healthcare professional also.
Wow, look at
So
that, huh? Wow.
four seems to be the magic number.
That's
But
great.
Brian, the most important thing we can do for our pets is to feed them properly.
Yeah,
And you know about the food and the natural aspect and the next best thing that you can do is to have their teeth cleaned and to clean their teeth and brush their teeth. And between the two, you've covered about 80% or 90%, with exercise of
yes,
all that you can do for your dog. So, and those are in our control because a dog can't brush his own teeth. He can't really feed himself. So we as pet parents have to provide to them the absolute best that we can do. And
absolutely.
by doing them both, you've covered just about everything.
And now your products they're all designed for a treat to go inside of them?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And do you guys have your own line of treats, or is it sort of here's our product and you can put whatever treats you want inside?
That's a great question. We have our own line of treats, but we're only producing it after we get a certain amount of orders because of the minimum quantity, because we're just starting. But they're designed that you can insert any treat at all. And actually, one of our captions is that our products converts any treat into a toothbrush. You take the treat, just you place it into one of our products, and as the dog tries to get to the treat, it cleans and flosses his own teeth. So that treat can last for hours and hours, and also it's a lot less messy once the treat is inside the treat brush.
Yeah, that's amazing because there's so many different enrichment toys on the market when it comes to, just giving your dogs 20, 30 minutes of, focused energy every day or whatever the case may be, but there's not a lot of enrichment toys, if any, that also have the benefits of cleaning your dog's teeth, right? Taking into account different aspects of it. It's mainly just for the play and enrichment focal point.
Right.
And that's why I love this product because yeah, you throw, you could throw a treat in there, 20, 30 minutes of fun, your dog's eating, and it's also having its teeth cleaned. It folds everything into one, right? And that's why I really love your product too, just because of that aspect of it. There's so many different, balls and toys and stuff where you can throw treats inside of it, but there's no health component to it behind that like mental enrichment aspect.
Exactly. And it's funny, it even floats.
No
So
way, huh?
yeah, and the dogs really love it. It can be a tug toy, it can be a fetch toy, but all the time it has this multifunctional ability to as well clean the dog's teeth. So we are really excited about it. And there are many toys and there's many products out there that claim to clean dogs' teeth. But just use your common sense when you have a look at it. Just because they put a few little ridges on it, or because they make it look like a toothbrush, doesn't necessarily work. We spent 3 years of research to develop our products so that each tooth and each slot and each structure on our toys are designed specifically for the dog's teeth of that corresponding weight and size, and to be as efficient as possible. So they have these cleaning slots 360 degrees all around the tooth, all around the toy rather than a couple of little grooves here and there, and the rest is marketing.
That's fantastic. I was so speaking on that, is Amazon your number one like channel right now, or what would you say is your number one like
Yeah,
acquisition
I
source?
would imagine, yeah, I would say Amazon is. But honestly, what I would love to do, I would love to drive more traffic to our website, getchewmate.com, because there's a lot of information on there, a lot
Yeah.
of questions and answers. And we really want to grow the community through our website, community of veterinarians, vet techs, concerned pet parents, basically everybody who has a dog and who wants to improve their oral hygiene so that they can improve the total body health of our
Yeah.
family member. And
Yeah.
it's so easy to do. So by getting people and driving people to the website, we really like to do it. And we have a really great promotion now to get people there. I think it's a 15 or 20% discount for first time visitors. And we have a lot of encouragement from veterinarians and vet techs who really love our product. And the groomers during the show, there were a lot of groomers who were really impressed, and we're actually going to come out with a line of products specifically designed for groomers as well. But in the meantime, they could even if a dog is an aggressive chewer, you can still hold our product in the dog's mouth, move it back and forth so he can't tear it apart, and he'll brush and floss his own teeth at the same time. So it's almost like assisted rather than him doing it himself. And that's
Yes.
for the super aggressive chewers who go through everything. We know who they are.
Yeah.
God bless them. We call them piranha teeth rather, that they have really sharp little teeth that go through.
That would make sense though for the groomers to be interested because I'm sure they're looking for ways too to keep dogs really, sidetracked, I guess you can say, during the whole grooming process, right? So,
Yep.
marketing, hey, not only can we groom your dog, but we'll help clean its teeth too at the same time, right?
Yeah, you just pop it in his mouth and he'll just bite it just by himself. You don't even have to hold it.
And
Well,
do you have different sizes? Like talk to me about like your product like variation line, like small, medium, large type deal or
great question. So in our bone shape, and our football shape, we have small, which means under 25 pounds,
Mhm.
or we have medium and large, which is 25 pounds and over.
Gotcha.
So, you're better to get a bigger bone for a smaller dog than the smaller bone for a larger dog. So err
Sure.
one size up if you have to. And for our plush products, which we hadn't mentioned yet, but we're just getting those in. And we're very excited about that because there's no plastic in them. They're 100% cotton and jute. This is, I'm sorry, you people can't see that, but you
Oh
can.
yeah. Oh, there we
So,
go. Yeah, I'll post a video of this too. So,
oh, really?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So it'll go right on YouTube.
Had I known, I would have shaved.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too,
So the product, the treat goes in there, and this is all natural. It's a ripstop fabric, and inside it's stuffed with coconut shell rather than a polyester or acrylic. We really want to stay away from polyester and acrylic. It's destroying. Every time you wash it, it goes out right in, bypasses the water filtering systems, goes right into the oceans. The teeny little fish think they're plankton. They eat it up. By the time there's 18% of the oceans are polluted, and most of the time you eat fish, you're going to be eating a little bit of plastic. So plastic for us is a no-no. This here, our motto is healthy mouth, healthy heart, and healthy planet.
Love
So
that.
we're really excited about this, and that's already on the ocean coming into our warehouse.
That's fantastic. That's really neat. I mean, that's something that we pride ourselves in too, right? It's like something where, yeah, we can go the cheaper route and do things, more profitable to the company. But at the end of the day, it's like everything's recyclable. We're really really big on that. So it's great to see other folks that are in line with us because that's something that's really big for us here, at Almost Pride. So that's awesome to hear. That's really really cool to hear.
Yeah.
Um, Now, in regards to like when you had this initial idea, right, where, hey, we're going to come out with CHEWMATE, right? You've spent years researching it. What was the biggest struggle in regards to taking this concept, taking this idea, and actually turning it into a product? If you had to pick, like, whether it was one moment or one, hurdle you had to get over, what was the hardest thing to bring it from concept to product?
Money.
Yeah.
It costs a lot more than people think, and especially if you want to do it properly, and if you want to make sure that all your rubber is tested independently, and if you want to make sure that that everything is done the way you really want it to be, so you can be proud of it. It takes a lot more time and money. But to get back to your question, I think the biggest challenge is to find somebody who can coordinate all the different things necessary and who is knowledgeable enough to know the right questions to ask. So when you start a whole company in a new category, I mean, we were very, very familiar and actually doing really well in the human sense, but in the pet category, it's completely different.
Sure.
We went the other way around. We originally wanted to bring it to the pet space, but we got introduced to a marvelous company called Bulbhead. Bulbhead is the largest, as seen on TV, company in the world, 80 different countries, and they loved our product so much that they took it. We gave it to them exclusively. They sold over 13 million just in a little counter direct, as seen on TV counter and online. It was they had to reach a certain price point, so they made it out of plastic. We really wanted it to be natural rubber, which it is now. So their exclusivity just finished. So we're now bringing it to the pet the pet category, and with a far improved and something that we can really be proud of.
That's
So
awesome. That's really, really great. I mean, it's so hard because there's so many different elements that evolve around not only bringing a concept to product, but then once you get the product, the hardest part is amplifying your product, right? Like where,
Sure.
we were localized for so long in New England, Connecticut for so long that we covered, 5% of the country, and how do we get to the other 95%, right? And that whole amplification of, whether it's a service, a technology, a business, a product, whatever the case may be, and that's the part where I love doing what I do, because that's the most fun aspect of this industry is, hey, we have this awesome product. We know
Oh,
it
well,
does wonders. Oh,
here's
look
our
at that.
guest
Who's that?
appearance.
Who do
So
we got there?
here's the dog who started it off and started
Wow.
it all. He
What's his name?
here, his name is Winton.
Hey, Winton. What's up,
He-
buddy? Oh, he's a cutie.
So anyway, he's a good boy. He just had a double knee replacement last
Ooh.
year. Yeah. Yeah,
Ooh.
but he's perfect now. So
Wow.
he's been through a lot, but he's our chief inspiration and product tester. So
Oh, okay. I'm
he
sure
made,
he probably has the cleanest teeth
he
in dog.
it's interesting you say that because we bring him to the vet once a year, and the first thing a vet does is it looks in the dog's mouth because
Yep.
it reveals just so
So
much.
much. Yep.
And every time he mentions to us how beautiful and clean, and they want to know what we use, we haven't brushed his teeth in years. We just keep on giving him over and over all these different models and different shapes of our treat brushes, our CHEWMATEs, and that's all. And he loves it. So
That's
there,
awesome.
there, there's the best testament yet.
And that's another, I mean, the vet space too, where you're not in food, right? Because you really can't, like, we can't get into the vet space because they're, obviously controlled by a lot of big companies. But
Right.
that's a product where any vet can get behind, right? I mean, you walk out of a vet office and it's available for purchase in the waiting room, you're gonna grab it, you know?
So what one of our testimonials on our website is from a vet. I mean, we have many from vets. Vets love the product because it's so easy, and they're they it solves the problem for them. So so they love our product. They're very involved. We're speaking to very many on an ongoing basis, and they're getting more and more involved. And we want to go top down through the vets and bottom up direct to consumer,
Sure.
educating all the way. And that's our mission.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Well, before we wrap up, I just want to make, let everyone know where they can find it, right? So it's www.getchewmate.com, right? And I'll post the link to so this full video will
Right.
be posted to YouTube, and then I'll clip up some stuff for LinkedIn, but getchewmate.com. And then you're also available on Amazon. But if obviously we want people to go to the website and actually educate themselves more on the product, I'm sure you have. I did a glance before, ton of testimonials, a ton of education components on the website, videos, etc. So if you are listening and you are interested, head over to www.getchewmate.com and check them out there. And if you are a vet that's listening, or you are a dog store that's listening, pet store that's listening, reach out to Dr. Allen and get yourself some CHEWMATEs in there. I love it. I really,
Thank
really
you.
love it.
Thank you so much. And for those who really want to see how it works like in real time, we have two videos posted on how it works on the website, and you'll actually see the dog's tooth being cleaned as it goes through the slots. So
Incredible.
you'll see for yourself, how well it works.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, listen, thank you again for coming on. I really, really appreciate it. Congratulations to everything you have going so far, and then where you guys are going. It's awesome to see. We'll stay in touch and connect. But thank you again for coming on. I really
I would
appreciate it.
like to. And thank you very much. It's a privilege.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks again.
Take care.